Quit your job and move to Key West. Chapter 2. Some call it paradise. What makes this place so special anyway? Right before I read the chapter, you deserve to see some of the photos. And just about on every page, there's a little thing like this. I'm going to run through these real quick before I read the chapter. Reason to quit your job. Number 62. My boss is a mental midget who treats me like swill. Need some religion? Key West has more churches per capita than any city in the United States. One church for every 742 people. Reason to quit. Number 7. My cubicle is too small, and besides, it's a cubicle. Reason to quit. Number 23. I have to wear a tie to work every day, but I prefer Hawaiian shirts. Got fish? Key West has 165 charter boats. Drink much? Key West consumes more alcohol per capita than any city in the United States. I help. Relatives coming? Key West has 573 hotels, guest houses, and rentals that make up 5,300 units. Reason to quit. Number 3. I spend more time in traffic than I do at home. Get a job. Monroe County boasts an unemployment rate of 2.1. Way below the national average, always. All right, that's the little page blurbs at the bottom. Now, let's get into the entire chapter. He said, clearing his throat. Some call it paradise. What makes this place so special anyway? Check out any advertisement for Key West, and chances are you will come across the word paradise. Welcome to our tropical island paradise. Paradise found. Come stay with us on your next trip to paradise. The list goes on. A quick check in our white pages under P will show you no less than 25 listings for paradise, ranging from paradise attractions to paradise vision, with beauties in between like paradise plumbing and paradise tattoo. I'm one of those old men that are nearly covered. Key West may well be the only town in the world where you can stay at the Paradise Inn, eat at the Paradise Cafe, and read a newspaper called, you guessed it, Paradise. What makes this place so special anyway? In this chapter, we will take a look at some of the elements that make Key West such a desirable and unique location. We will also include an overview of the types of people our paradise attracts, but let's first define paradise. The American Heritage Dictionary defines paradise as a place or condition of perfect happiness or beauty. It goes on further to explain that it is often capitalized, indicating paradise is a specific location. Though it would be a stretch to say that the happiness or beauty of Key West is perfect, the fact of the matter is the island has some pretty impressive qualities. A few of the most attractive are listed below. Weather. They don't call Florida the Sunshine State for nothing. How does an average monthly rainfall of 2.89 inches sound? That's less than 35 inches a year, with the majority of it, 20.82 inches, falling during what we call our rainy season from June to October. Rainstorms usually last less than an hour, and the sun often shines in spite of the rain, creating some magnificent rainbows. Spend enough time in the Keys, and you will probably see it raining on one side of the street while the other remains dry. If you don't think that's pretty cool, don't bother coming. Temperature. This year's forecast average high of 83.7 degrees with an average low of 71.25 degrees. Yes, we are talking Fahrenheit. Though the humidity runs high in the summer months, the plus side of this is you don't have to iron your clothes. There may be a week or two each year when a cold front passes through, but for the most part, there is no need for winter clothes, and most of the houses are not even equipped with heaters. We don't have heaters in our homes in Key West. Unless 71 degrees in the winter is just too cold. Water. Water is an important part of any island's attraction, and Key West is no different. Though our water may not be as clear and blue as some brochures depict, Key West was blessed with the only living coral reef in the continental United States, and the third longest barrier reef in the world, which makes it excellent in diving, snorkeling, and fishing. While one body of water would be nice, Key West is surrounded by the Gulf of Mexico on one side and the Atlantic Ocean on the other. The water is always warm, and the lack of waves makes conditions ideal for jet skis and boating. Flora. One of the great joys of living in Key West is walking down a side street after years of living in town and discovering a plant you have never seen before. Flowers of every color bloom year-round, and sweet smells fill the air. Mango, banana, coconut, and avocado trees are common, as are banyan, poinciana, and gumbo limbo. You may not have changing seasons, but these tropical delights are not a bad trade-off. Animals. Animals are everywhere. We knew Key West was a place to call home the first time we went to the Schooner Wharf Bar and found a dog sitting on a stool next to us lapping beer out of a bowl. Though the health department keeps threatening to crack down on them, dogs are still welcome in many of our bars and restaurants. Cats are pretty common as well, the most famous having 6 or more toes on each paw. In fact, some houses or apartments come with a cat. When one tenant leaves, the next one just takes over feeding duties. We've had 3 or so far that we'll still go to visit. Don't worry about allergies, they are all outdoor cats. Chickens are everywhere. Some people love them and some hate them. Either way, it's not hard to smile when you see a mama chicken and her 6 little babies waddling across the gas station parking lot. A lot of people don't like the roosters because they're so damn loud all the time. I do. I like animals, so the roosters are fine. Other animals you will grow to love or at least accept include rats. They call them we've got other names for them. Geckos, spiders. We've got an orb weaver spider that is just gorgeous. It's a little bitty red, white, and black one with spots, and it's got spikes that stick off of it. They look like crabs, which they're related to anyway. Ants. Don't have many ants. Palmetto bugs. That's a roach with wings, and here they get pretty big, like bigger than an inch, sometimes like 2. Scorpions, and of course mosquitoes. That's a whole story. Well, they haven't mentioned iguanas. We've got iguanas everywhere. As often as you see a squirrel in most places of the United States running from tree to tree or in the lawn, we've got iguanas. Be sure to thank the chicken for the bugs he has eaten as he crows under your window at 3 in the morning. History. So history was not your favorite class in school? Well, don't worry. Key West has one of the most unique histories in Florida, and it is chock full of bizarre facts and humorous anecdotes. Do yourself a favor and take a break from the bar stool to visit the Monroe County Public Library. The Florida History Room has some incredible books on the island as well as historic maps, photos, and directories. Architecture. Next time you see the old house down the street from you being torn down to make room for a Walmart parking lot, consider that Old Town Key West has about 3,000 structures, many of which date to the late 1800s and are listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Most early houses were built by ship's carpenters, who built them from the wood of the ships that had wrecked out on the reef. Some houses were even built in the Bahamas, taken apart and shipped to Key West. Bad news for Walmart. The houses are protected so we can all enjoy them for years to come. The closest Walmart to Key West is about 150, 180 miles, all the way up the Keys into the mainland, which is the Arctic to us, like close to Miami. Attitude. Big city life can cause big city strife. Key West, for many, offers a place a little more laid back, a little more accepting, a little more tolerant, and a little less judgmental. Something has to be said for a place where you can dress how you want, say what you want, do what you want, and be who you want without the worry of others wanting you to be something that you don't want to be. We do have laws, and the police selectively enforce them. That's a long story, too. We also have our share of jackasses who can only find joy in the misery of others, but as a whole on the island runs a little bit slower and a little bit softer. Jimmy Buffett said it best: changes in latitudes, changes in attitudes. Legend. Legends are what any drinking town worth its weight in salt is all about. Only in Key West you can follow in the footsteps of Ernest Hemingway, tell tales of pirates and shipwrecks, explore Civil War forts, search for treasure with sunken galleons, talk of rum runners, drug runners, prohibition, poets, writers, actors, ghosts, and voodoo, all without leaving your bar stool. Many stories have been passed down from islanders through the generations, while new ones are being born every day. No one in Key West is really sure how accurate these stories are, but we all agree that sharing local lore in a bar beats the hell out of flipping through 112 channels of crap on television. The legend lives on. People. Please try to be original when asked why you came to Key West. Don't say the weather or the people. 4 out of 5 dentists recommend shooting yourself in the head for lack of originality, if that is your answer. Most people are friendly, some overly so, outgoing, accommodating, intelligent, and insane. The great part is that the insane people are pretty good at disguising their insanity at first. So in short, doses it can be misinterpreted as good-natured fun. Don't worry, most of the insane people here are harmless to others. Feel free to add to that list. If your book, it's your book and you can do what you want with it, but let's continue along. Now that you know some of the reasons people are drawn to Key West, let's take a look at the types of people who live here. Keep in mind this is a 2x4 mile island. In some places it's only 1 mile across. We say 1 mile by 4 miles, but it's in between 1 and 2. It's not a perfectly square island or rectangular. Where was I? Keep in mind this is a 2x4 mile island, and the people we are about to describe will be your neighbors, co-workers, and friends. We'll let the statistics do the talking first, and then we'll follow up with a breakdown of the clicks. Stats. Population. This is Monroe County, which is our county. The year 1980, we had 63,188 people, of which Key West had 24,292. What you're going to find out as I just go through a couple of years here is the Monroe County, which is all the way through the Keys, population keeps going up, up, up. Key West doesn't. We're at all the edges of the island. There's no growing unless we start building skyscrapers. The year 1990, it went up from 63,000 to 78,024. Key West went from 24,000 up to 24,000. Added on about 600 people in detail. The year 2000, it went up to 79,589. Key West crossed over the 25,478. Population of 2003, Monroe County went up to 80,537. Key West stayed at 25,000, but about another 400 with 25,811. By the way, during that same year, we had 2,740 military employment in Key West. Stats continue. Age breakdown. So you want to know how old people are in Key West on average? Monroe County and then Key West. Age, 0 to 19. Monroe County, it's 19% of them. Key West, it's 18%, about the same. Age, 20 to 34. Monroe County, 18%. Key West, it goes up a little bit to 25. A quarter of us in Key West are between 20 and 34. Age, 35 to 44. Monroe County, 18%, the exact same. Key West, it went down a little bit to 19. Age 45 to 54, Monroe County still 18%. Key West went down further to 17%. Can you see what's happening with Key West? All right, age 55 to 64. There I am. I'm in that category now. Monroe County, 12%. Oh, that's because we're just like croaking. Or moving on. Key West, it's 10%. So only 1 out of 10 of us are between 55 and 64. All right, 65 to 74, Monroe County, 9%. Key West, 6%. And the last one, 75 and older, 6% in Monroe County. Key West, 5%. So it's almost back to normal again. But you can see our age group, the most populous, is right around 20 to 34 years old. So it's small before that age, gets there, you drink and party and do things you shouldn't do, and then you're done, and population declines. Median age, Monroe County is 42.6, Key West is 38.9. All right, population by race in the year 2000 of Monroe. This is both Monroe County and Key West. White, Monroe County is 77%. Key West was 71%. Not a huge difference. Black, Monroe County is 4.5%. Key West is almost double that, 8.8%. We got a lot of Haitian people here who we love, and Jamaican and wherever else they all come from, or born in the United States. Hispanic, Monroe County is 15.8, Key West is 16.5, very similar. And other, Monroe County 2.5, Key West 3.3. So we're pretty much the same as the rest of the county, except our African-American population is about double than average. All right, done with the statistics. Conks. When I say conk, it isn't K-O-N-K, it's C-O-N-C-H. So you'll hear this a lot. If you come to Key West, you're going to know. Conks. These are people who were born in Key West. If you were not born in Key West, you're not, have not been, and never will be a conk. Don't try to be, it won't happen. Some people feel an underlying tension between conks and non-conks, but the fact remains. These are the people who helped make the island what it is today, so show respect, my bubba. The gay community. An estimated 20 to 25% of our population is gay. If you come from Mars, now would be a good time for us to point out that gay means more than just happy. The island's live and let live attitude has created a haven for gays and strives to set an example for other communities. If you have problems accepting the sexual preferences of others, keep your mouth shut or don't bother coming. Check out the Key West Business Guild and the Gay and Lesbian Community Center for updated information on gay events. The military. Key West has held important military significance since before the Civil War. Though the actual number of personnel stationed in Key West is classified information, our armed forces here are dominated by the Navy and Coast Guard. All right, the Cuban community. In the 2000 census, 16.5% of our residents were Hispanic, most of them of Cuban heritage with a Key West history that dates back to our earliest roots. 90 miles from Cuba, would you expect anything less? We're far closer to Cuba, Havana, even their capital, than we are to the mainland and Miami, which is another big city. The two big cities in two directions. Havana, Miami, we're closer to Havana. Oh, here, continuing on. A few cultural delights can still be enjoyed in Key West, include hand-rolled cigars, Cuban mixed sandwiches, and a variety of coffee drinks that will grow hair on your chest and erase Starbucks from your evil latte mind. Though cockfighting has been outlawed, Cuban folk art, Latin dancing, salsa music, and the world-famous mojito rum drink can all still be found. Key West is also home to the Cuban American Heritage Festival. The black community. In the 2000 census, 8.8% of our population is listed as black or African American. Most of the African American community lives in Bahama Village, an area west of Whitehead Street and south of Angela Street. Many locals would agree that this is the last little piece of a real community in Key West. Kids play in the street, people know their neighbors, chickens wander around crowing at all hours of the day and night, and a seat on the porch is preferred to a seat in front of the TV. The art community. Key West has a strong draw for artists of all types, actors, writers, Singers, painters, poets, songwriters, sculptors, and others all call Key West home. Some are famous, some not yet. Many do it for money while others do it for joy. The end result is self-expression, art, and cultural events around every corner. Retirees. I'm already there. Well, semi. 21% of our population is past the retirement age. Work hard, save your money, and you too could join this intelligent group of people. Most of our retired residents only live here for the winter months. The summer is spent up north until the cold weather comes and the southern migration begins again. Some locals use the term snowbird like it is a bad thing. In reality, we're jealous. Families. Believe it or not, there are people who raise families in Key West. Like the mystical Incan tribes, we don't know who they are or what they do, but they exist. It's a great place for kids, even though everybody just thinks it's for drinking. But there's a lot of great things for children. Street people. If you're going to be homeless, why not do it where it's warm? Key West has a homeless problem. We also have a hippie circuit that begs on the street, panhandlers, beggars, and more. Before you support their cause, realize that some, if not all of these people, are banking over $100 a day. The hospitality community. 63% of our residents are employed by the hospitality industry, making this the largest group with a common bond by far. It includes bar and restaurant workers, hotel employees, cab drivers, travel agents, tour guides, and more. Some people have been here for years while others are just passing through. Some are young, some are old. These are the people who shape the true image of Key West for all of the tourists who come to town. And last, escape artists. As you spend time in Key West, you will begin to see that everybody here is escaping from something. For some people, it's the law. For others, it's a divorce or job failure. Some people just want to get away from city life, but everybody is escaping something. Key West is the end of the line. When you get here, there's no going south, unless you're swimming, and staying in the United States until when you cross that line in between countries. Scientists are working as we speak to locate the part of the human brain that amazes them the most. It is probably the section that tells people who are running away, go to Key West. Isn't science amazing? Well, there you have it. The people of Key West condensed into one easy-to-read chapter. In summary, everyone comes here because they are running from something. Well, that, the weather, and the people. All right, that's chapter 2. Chapter 3, I'll do tomorrow or the next day, soon. It's called Our First Quitters. It's a very brief history of the working life in Key West, and you're going to find out about who was on this island before we even had roads or boats to get here. My little own personal thing here. Key West is often known as the island of misfit toys. If you remember the movie Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the little holiday special, animated, Rankin and Bass, there's the island of misfit toys, Key West. But it's kind of a mixture between that and Andy Griffith's Mayberry. So if you remember the Andy Griffith Show, his little town where everybody knows each other, everybody helps each other out, we're kind of like Island of Misfit Toys and Andy Griffith's Mayberry, all mixed in together. And the artistic parts of New York City. All right, that's it. I'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed some of this great information. Thank you to the writers of the book.